Hi everyone, I'm Sheila Stratton. I'm the nutrition and wellness coach at Community Action in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I'm here to demonstrate a recipe for you as part of our ongoing series of feast classes. So today's recipe is massaged kale salad. Actually, we're calling it kale ceviche salad. I absolutely love introducing people to kale. People who know me kind of, maybe I'm a little obnoxious about how much I love kale, and I love introducing people to it. And this particular recipe it's fun, as you'll see in a moment. It's fun to make, and it's kind of like nothing you've probably ever done before. I mean, if kale's new to you, this whole method of making it will seem new as well. I think it's really fun. So here's where we're headed with this. First of all, you guys know what kale is, right? Let's introduce you to a kale leaf. This particular kind of kale is, you've probably seen this before. It's curly kale. There are lots of different varieties of kale. This is probably the most commonly known. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I just knew it as that thing they decorated your plate with when you got to go out to eat every, once in a great while. I never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you could eat it, right? And nobody ever did back then, in my experience. But thankfully, we have discovered the benefits of kale. It's really one of those nutrition-packed foods. We should all be eating more leafy greens, and these dark leafy greens are really, really good for us. So this is the base for our salad today. Kale. The other ingredients in our salad is red bell pepper, so it's a sweet pepper. We have grated carrots. We've got a little bit of purple onion, purple or red, same thing, you'll see it referred to both ways. And then some oranges, which is really fun. Mixing fruits and vegetables in a salad is a great, great fun thing to do. And our dressing, this is the kind of fun part I was talking about. Our dressing is going to be lemon juice, a little salt, some red chili flakes, and some hummus. I'll tell you more about the hummus in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. I was kind of thinking through how I want to do this. So let's just start at the beginning, right? So the first thing we would do is we would remove the kale leaf from the stem and chop it and put it in our salad bowl. So I've got most of it done already, but I really wanted to show you guys how this works. So I've stripped that off, and I'm just gonna tear it into some bite-sized pieces. Tear it, chop it, whatever works for you. So let me show you a couple more leaves of how to do that. So here's the leaf. Grab it by the end of the stem. Just kind of take a hold at the bottom, and then just strip the leaves away, just like that. It's very efficient. Depending on your mood, it's oddly satisfying. Some days you just want something tangible, right? That you can see the result of your work. And the other thing I would mention about this recipe is one more leaf here. We'll strip it, grab a hold of the stem, just pull and strip it off. One of the things I will mention about this, I think this would be a great recipe to get your kids involved in helping you make. I mean, how fun would it be to do stripping that kale leaf? That's the first thing. And when it comes time for getting our dressing on here, that's the other way that would be super fun for the kids, which is coming up right now. So we're gonna add our hummus, lemon juice, salt, and red chili flakes. So I've got the juice of half of a lemon, right? So I've cut, and then you just press it down on that juicer. I already juiced it, so could go quicker. And then just dump that lemon juice in there. And then our red chili flakes is just a half of a teaspoon. I'm actually a little bit scared of red chili flakes, so I don't want it to be too hot. So I'm gonna just drop a few of those back in there and go a little bit less. Personal preference, right? You can modify any old thing you want. And then our salt is to taste. And so you don't want to go crazy. It really doesn't take much. But so we're just gonna get a few shakes of salt in there. And then our hummus. So one thing I want to make a note of is this recipe calls for either some hummus or avocado. And they both would serve the same purpose, and that is to make our dressing creamy, right? You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Okay, so here's the thing about lemon juice and salt in particular and how it affects the kale. Once we start, we're gonna massage this kale, actually, right? And so that lemon juice and salt is acting almost like it's cooking, except we're not using any heat. And so I just think this is such a great technique for getting flavor into these leaves. They can be a little bit bitter, you know, they definitely want to have some different flavor added to them. And so it's great flavor boost. It's just really cool, I think. You don't have to heat a pan up, don't have to put anything in the microwave. You can just toss some salt. You could actually do this just with salt. I do that at home quite a lot. I just put a little bit of salt on and then massage it really, really good. Give yourself a little bit of a hand workout here. But salt and lemon juice for sure. It's a great, great technique. So this is the part where I think, you know, if you want your kids to get involved and they can like really play with their food, all in the service of what the recipe says, right? So you gotta do it. So I really like to, and I recommend, just really don't hold back on the massage, right? Really dig in there. Because the more you do that, you're gonna really break down the cell walls in the kale leaf and get more flavor into the kale, which is what we want. So almost done. All right. Okay. Now I need that kitchen sink right beside me so I can rinse my hands off. I will, oops, take a bit of that off before I continue on. Okay, so we did a good job, I think I did a good job massaging that kale, and look how reduced it is. I don't know if you can get a sense of that, but oops, there we go. You know that, when it was sitting dry, you know, that kale was like right up here. It was really kind of maybe 2/3 of this filling the bowl, 2/3 full. And now it's definitely reduced in size by half, I would say. So we have massaged that goodness into our kale, and then the only thing that's left is stirring in the rest of our ingredients. So we'll add our bell pepper and our carrots, shredded just with a handy little hand grater, and a few chopped purple onion pieces, and then some orange. It's gonna be really good. Okay, now I could use my hands. We'll see how well I do just with this, but continuing on to use your hands to continue to toss, that'd be kind of fun. Totally up to you when you make it, but oh, you guys, look how colorful and beautiful that is. We start to taste with our eyes, right? And so I don't think, sometimes we do it, and when you stop and think about it, you know that's true, but you don't really stop and think about that very often. But I'm always enjoying like these beautiful colors that get me started, get me excited to have the food. Okay, you guys, that's it. This spatula works just fine, but I would encourage you to use your hands and play with your food when you make this. Okay, that's it, right? I stirred everything in, and it's gorgeous. The only other thing I will tell you is, so we could dig into this right now. If we let it sit for half an hour or so, or we could wrap it up and stick it in the fridge and have it tomorrow. We usually don't think of salads, like lettuce salads, as being all that great the next day if you do that with the dressing on it, but kale is so beefy, right? It's so tough, that by doing that, we're kind of marinating it, and those flavors are gonna just develop even more if we do. So totally up to you when you make this. I hope you will. Don't be scared if you've never had kale. Don't be scared. Give it a try. This is a really, really, really great technique. And so, yeah, give it a try and let us know how it goes. Thanks for watching.